Hello everyone. Welcome to Mindful Wanderer Journeys Within. So, tonight's episode is going to be a little different than ones that I've been doing previously. I've been working a lot on the mindful part of Wanderer with personal development, personal expansion, and I just want to focus on the wander part because a big part of my life has to do with what we call wanderlust, and also travel tourism, which I am a big proponent of. And I decided that, you know what, let me dedicate some of my episodes to favorite places of mine or favorite experiences. I did mention last time in my podcast that I love trying new episodes. I love trying new experiences, and I'm just excited. I just absolutely love trying new things, going to new places, experiencing, meeting new people, you name it. Especially trying out new foods and cuisine and everything. So tonight I wanted to focus on one of my favorite places in the world, Lake George in upstate New York in the Adirondacks. And I had been going there since I was about 6 years old. My family and I went there, and I am going to be 54. So it has been a huge part of my life. And those of you who remember that I have a solo book out there, hopefully to be a series. My book is based in Lake George, and so will the other books that will be following that. But it's just such a special place in my heart, and I wanted to share about it with you because people are always asking me about Lake George, what to do there, why I love it so much, and I just can't get enough talking about it. So, as I said, I started traveling to Lake George around 6 years old. We stayed at this hotel there called the Holiday Inn, and they had the best indoor heated pool that I can remember. I remember me and my older sibling that we just spent so much time in that pool. But what really stands out to me about Lake George, and even to this day, are the Adirondack Mountains. They are an absolutely beautiful mountain range, and every time we go there, when we pull into where the lake is and the mountains, it feels like home. It really does. It just feels like home. And there's a huge mountain there called Prospect Mountain. There's a lot of history with it. We've actually gotten to the top. You can climb, or you can take a car up part of the way, and then you take a tram up to the top. So friends and part of my family have gone hiking on it, and then the rest of us took the tram. But it's worth it because you can see so much at the top and learn about the history of it. But it's a beautiful, beautiful mountain, and we see it every time we go. So the one thing too about Lake George, when people ask me about why we love it so much, is that there's something for everyone and every age group. It doesn't matter if you're little, it doesn't matter if you're older. I mean, there's something for everyone. Just like they have restaurants for every type of palate. I mean, no matter what. I mean, it would be crazy if somebody said they couldn't find something to do there, or something to eat. I mean, it's just a wonderful, wonderful place. And there are so many activities there. I mean, I've gotten a lot of my adventurous spirit out over there. I've gone parasailing, whitewater rafting, river tubing. I mean, it's just absolutely wonderful. They have these steamboats that you can take dinner cruises on, or just regular narrated cruises about the lake. Or they have luncheon cruises. They have specialty cruises. They have one of the boats has like a pasta night and a taco night. And so those are some of our favorite things to do there. There are arcades, there's mini golf. And one thing I want to say too, Lake George is the kind of place that you can go every season and find something to do. Now, of course, the wintertime, yes, the weather can get pretty intense up there, but there's always something to do, whether you want to ski. They have a ski range there called Gore Mountain. It's very big with the skiers. You can take gondola rides. There's snowmobiling that you can do there. I mean, there's always something to do. You can never go to Lake George and say that you were bored. I mean, even as many times as I've been going there, my family and I have been going there, there's still so many things that we want to still do. There's just so many different activities available and so many different restaurants. And it's not just within Lake George. I mean, there are lots of other surrounding areas that we can visit. There's Bolton Landing, Queensbury, Glens Falls, Warrensburg. I mean, there are just so many different towns that you can explore. There are train rides you can take. I mean, there are just so many wonderful adventures. It's an adventure, really, to go there. And I just encourage anybody that's looking for a place to travel to. And it's the hotels there are wonderful, the hotels and motels, and some of them are right on the lake. You can get cabins. It's just such an amazing place. It truly is. It is just such an amazing place. And I am so grateful that I was able to share about it in my book. And I had the extreme honor of being able to present at one of the local libraries in Lake George about my book, about my writing journey. It was so exciting. I had, I had a nice little turnout come out and people asked me questions. My book is also featured in what's known as the Steamboat Workshop. And I remember going there and seeing my book on the shelf. And I can't even begin to tell you what that felt like, to see something that I wrote and created and to see it in print in one of my favorite places in the world. I mean, I remember I had tears in my eyes, and I mean, it was just absolutely incredible to see that. I have formed a lot of great relationships in Lake George, and often people have asked us for recommendations. We created an itinerary to give to people on a Word document, and I become like a very local tourism guide for people that go to Lake George and even other places and other activities. I've become a social media tour guide in a way, and I love it. I absolutely love it because I believe in sharing something that's dear to my heart, and I want other people to experience it. But Lake George is so special. It's a 32-foot lake, and it's funny because when I first started going there, when I would tell about how excited I was, people would often say, like, well, it's a lake. Like, what do you do there? Like, I said, well, it's a very, very long lake. So there's a lot to do there. And a lot of just what I mentioned tonight, I mean, that's just the tip of the iceberg with it, really. I mean, there are just so many wonderful activities, and the restaurants, they have some of the best seafood that we've ever had. They have steakhouses, they have Italian restaurants. I mean, there's one called Mario's, that's a big tradition of ours. Another restaurant called Ridge Terrace that we absolutely love. It's like a log cabin. I mean, it's just absolutely incredible. It really is. So that's what I wanted to share about. And as I said, there are going to be times where, because when we think about mindful wanderer, it's a lot of times being out in nature and doing tourism activities that can help with a lot of personal expansion and personal development. And I always encourage people with self-care to go out in nature, because there's nothing like when you're going through something in life and you're standing in front of this absolutely gorgeous lake, in front of these absolutely huge, majestic mountains. And it really just puts things in perspective that there is a bigger plan out there. There's divine order. I mean, it's just incredible. Being out in nature, that place has been healing for me. I know there have been times where I leave Lake George and I'm like, oh my God, I just feel so good and everything. And it's just so wonderful. It truly is. But I believe too, and people always want to know about fun things to do. So I thought, well, Mindful Wanderer is about wandering and going and searching and exploring. So some of my episodes will be devoted to travel and experiences. One episode I will talk about will be devoted to a tea house in my area that I've been going to since 2019. And oh my God, I would love to share about the experiences I've had there. So that's my time for tonight. But, again, that's just, I wanted to give you a snippet of what Lake George is like for me and for my family and for friends that have gone with us. But I highly, highly encourage you to check it out for yourself. And again, it's for all ages. There just are so many wonderful activities to take part in and wonderful people, wonderful food. I mean, you name it. And the beauty there is just incredible. So thank you for tuning in tonight, and I look forward to being with you in the next episode. All right, have a wonderful evening.